Okay, year 2. So let's carry on. Let's see if you were right. So we're going to look at our tally, not our tally chart, our pictogram. I'm getting all of my names muddled up today. And we're going to look at it for pandas. Now, how many squares are there for pandas? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 squares, which means there are 7 pandas because each square represents 1 panda. Now, let's fill in our block diagram. Okay, so if I colour in 1 block, how many pandas will there be? Yes, there'll be 1 panda because if we follow our finger across, we get to 1. And we also know that in this block diagram, 1 block represents 1 panda. So let's keep going. Let's do 2 blocks. Now we're going to have to do more, aren't we? Let's colour in 3 and 4. Now how many were there? There were 7. Okay, so we need to keep going. So there's, how many have I done now? Well, if we follow our finger across, we get to 5. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, and now we're at 6. So how many more do we need to colour in? Well, yes, we need to get to 7. And 6 plus 1 equals 7. So now look, if we follow our finger across, we get to 7. So we have represented 7 pandas on our block diagram. Now let's have a look how many monkeys there are. So here's the pictogram again. Now how many squares are there next to monkeys? Yes, there are 3 squares, and we know that 1 square represents 1 monkey. So 3 squares is going to represent 3 monkeys. Okay, so I need to represent 3 monkeys on my block diagram. And I know that 1 block in this pictogram equals 1 monkey because we can see that it's going up in ones on our y-axis. Okay, and we need 3. So let me colour in 1. Okay, and 2. And how many more do we need, year 2? Yes, we need 1 more because we're representing 3 monkeys. Okay, so have I finished? Well, let's have a look. Let's move our finger across. And yes, look, we have 3 monkeys because we've landed on the number 3. So there we go. We have completed our block diagram to show the number of animals at the zoo. Okay, now, are you ready for a trickier block diagram? Okay, let's change the number that it goes up in. So we're going to have a look at a block diagram where it goes up in, what does this go up in? Let's have a look. So we've got 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. What am I counting up in, year 2? Yes, I'm counting up in 5s. So this block diagram, each of the blocks represents 5 items this time. This is getting trickier, isn't it? Now, this block diagram is going to show us the number of ice creams sold. So V stands for vanilla, C stands for chocolate, S stands for strawberry, and MC stands for mint chocolate. Okay, now we're going to use a pictogram again to help us with this. So on our pictogram, 1 yellow square represents 5 ice creams. Now, how many squares have we got next to vanilla? Well, we've got 3. So let's count up in steps of 5. So we've got 5, 10, 15. Okay, we've got 15 vanilla ice creams, and we need to show 15 vanilla ice creams on our block diagram. So I'm going to colour in 1 block. Now, in our last block diagram, 1 block represented 1 item, but how many items does it represent in this block diagram? Well, yes, if we move our finger across, we can see that it represents 5 items. Okay, so let's colour in another one because we need to get to 15, don't we? So if I colour in another one, what am I at now? How many vanilla ice creams are there? If we put our finger across, we know that there are 10 vanilla ice creams now. Okay, let me do one more, see what we get to then. Okay, how many vanilla ice creams have I got now? Well, if I move my finger across, I can see that there are 15 vanilla ice creams, and we needed 15 vanilla ice creams. Now, how come we've only coloured in 3 blocks? Well, that's because each block represents 5 items. So our first block is 5, our second block is 10, and our third block is 15. So we've got 15 vanilla ice creams. Okay, now we're going to have a look at the next flavour, which is chocolate. Now remember, on our pictogram, 1 yellow square equals 5 ice creams. So we've got 5, 10, count with me, 15, 20, 25. So there are 25 chocolate ice creams. Okay, now I need to remember that each of my blocks represents 5 ice creams, and I need to get to 25. So if I colour in my first one, what does that get me to? Well, if I move my finger across, it takes me to 5 ice creams. Now I need a lot more vanilla chocolate ice creams, don't I? So if I do another one, that takes me to 10, because 5 is the first one, 10 is the second one. So colour in another one. What will this take me to? Well, 5, 10, 15. And look, I can check that by moving my finger across. And yes, we're at 15. Need to get to 25 though, so let me colour another one in. Now I know that each of my blocks represents 5 ice creams. So I've got 5, 10, 15, 20. How many more am I going to need to colour in to get to 25? Am I going to need to colour in 5 more? No, I'm not, aren't I? Am I? Because each block represents 5. So if I colour in 5 more, that's going to be way too many, isn't it? I just need to colour in 1 more, because each block represents 5, and 20 plus 5 equals 25. So I've coloured in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and 5 multiplied by 5 equals, if I move my finger across, 25. So there we go. We have filled in the block diagram for the chocolate ice creams. So now again, you have this block diagram and the pictogram to go with it on your resource 1 worksheet. So could you finish off this block diagram for me and then come back to the video? Okay, year 2. So let's have a look at strawberry ice cream, see how you got on. So as we know, each of the yellow squares represents 5 ice creams. Well, we have 2 yellow squares here, so it's 5, 10. Okay, so am I going to have to colour in 10 squares? No, I'm not, am I? Because in this block diagram, 1 square equals 5 items. So if I have 10 strawberry ice creams, I'm only going to need to colour in 2 blocks, because 2 multiplied by 5 equals 10. So if I colour in my first one, that will give me 5 strawberry ice creams. And if I colour in my second one, that will give me 10 vanilla ice creams, because if I put my finger there and move across, I get to 10. Okay, let's try the last one. How many mint chocolate ice creams are there? Let's have a look. Okay, well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, and each square represents 5 ice creams. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so we've got 20 mint chocolate ice creams. So am I going to need to colour in 20 blocks? No, I'm not, because I need to have a look what my block diagram is going up in, and that will tell me how much 1 block represents, which is 5 in this case. So I am going to have to colour in some blocks of 5 until I get to 20. So if I colour my first one in, that gives me 5. My second one, what's 5 add 5, year 2? Yes, it's 10. My third one will take me to 15, well done. And the next one, what will the next one take me to? Let's have a look. Let's move my finger across. It's taken us to 25. So there we go. We have completed our block diagram because we had 15 vanilla ice creams, and we've done that on our block diagram to get to 15. We had 25 chocolate ice creams, and yes, we've got 25. We had 10 strawberry ice creams, and yes, we have got 10 strawberry ice creams, and we had 20 mint chocolate ice creams, and as we found out earlier, we have 20 mint chocolate ice creams.